internal wrangling going on within the Social Democratic Party, SDP, and of course the sudden and unfortunate invasion by armed thugs who made their way into the party secretariat and unleashed severe violence on journalists who were on the ground, and as well as the party staff. And of course, joining us to have this conversation is our guest in the person of Chief Solomon Chukwu, who is an APC chieftain, joining us virtually from Agege, Lagos. Good morning once again, Chief, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, men in the studio.
All right. Now, let's talk about the internal wrangling within the party. I said earlier that as long as the political system in Nigeria is concerned, there is no party, as it were, that is immune to internal wrangling or conflict. But when it borders on gross misconduct, including embezzlement and misappropriation of funds, how does this greet you as a news?
As a party man, I strongly believe party have an internal mechanism to deal with any member who is found wanting. And above all, the land have its own law, which is above any other law, be the party mechanism or something close to that. So anybody who is found wanting, the law should take his course.
All right, now let's talk about the major shake-up going on within the party. As we have it today, the SDP headquarters right now has been able to suspend its national chairman, the auditor, and of course, the youth leader, the national youth leader. So now these are issues that border on gross misconduct that has to do with the diversion of funds of the public into private account. Do you think that within the party there is no sort of shake-up going on now that will be able to put the party in disarray, given the fact that we are going into an election year in a year or two from now? Do you think that will in itself create some sort of distraction given what is going on within the party right now?
SDP is a party. I'm not a member of it. And I think this question should go to a member of the party who understand better what is happening in the party. I'm a member of APC, and I can say much about APC. I'm a member. I don't even wish any other party find their feet so that we can have a free run in the forthcoming election.
All right, so you care about, your own party, especially having a smooth run during the election. But given what has just happened, this is an event, which resulted, from the chairman, who is the national chairman of the SDP, putting out the party's financial statement, to the electoral body, INEC, which of course led to the publishing of such report. As it were, that was exactly what led up to his suspension. Now, looking at it from your own party, the APC, do you think that such act by the chairman is right? And if it's not, what should have been done better in terms of accountability, in terms of putting forward the party's financial record? Should it have been sent to INEC in the first place, which eventually made its way to the media?
I believe INEC being a regulator deserves to know how party is being funded and being managed. Don't forget that INEC is a regulating body. So part of the requirement of a party to be registered is that you submit your annual report, just like you do to CAC as a corporate body. So I think it's the right thing to do. Anybody have a problem with that should be able to sort it out within themselves.
Now, talking about the attack that was meted out on journalists who were on the ground and of course the staff of the party. This attack, as it were, came as a result of the suspension of the national chairman and his team. Some persons are of the opinion that this could have been orchestrated by the chairman, who of course is aggrieved over his suspension. What's your take on that?
There is a Yoruba say that the witch in the night and the child died in the morning. So, fine, they could be justified. But as it is Nigerian law, everybody is assumed innocent or the proven guilty by the court of law. So you see an allegation.
All right, now let's look at it this way in comparison with what also has happened in time past, especially with other political parties. If you remember vividly, there was a time that the former chairman, the national chairman of the Labour Party, was ousted out, given the fact that his tenure as the national chairman had expired, and also following allegations of, diversion of funds or some sort of misconduct that is associated with financial crime. Now, we already understand that it has never been well with the party. I'm talking about the Labour Party since he left office. We've seen factions of his own team against the faction of another team in the same party. Do you think that the suspension of the national chairman of the SDP in the person of Gabon will create some sort of friction and tension, given the fact that he would not be happy that he has been suspended out of the party? Therefore, he want to create some sort of factions, as it were, to create distractions, and of course make the party to lose focus instead of putting itself and the house in order before the election that we are going into in 2027. Do you see some of those kind of replication of some sort coming up again in the SDP?
You see, for me, as I said earlier, I'm not a member of SDP. Neither do I have any stake in SDP. But I will urge them to put the house together so that they will not, so that sentiments will not be much when we win our election on 2027. Because all this rankling party mismanagement and the rest of them is internal democracy. And it's left for the party organs to resolve and get ready for election. Parties are formed so that for the purpose of contesting the election and winning the election. So I urge the leaders of SDP to put the house together, because we want to contest with people. We don't want to contest with ourselves alone. As a member of the APC, it's a lesson for us to show that so we go back to the election youth as a bloc and we'll be able to win our election.
All right, now looking at the situation of things, there is a sort of internal cleansing going on, which has given rise to the suspension of the national chairman, Shehu Gabon. Now, what's your take as regards opinions by some persons who attribute such kind of internal wrangling going on within the party, SDP, and other opposition? Because whether or not you like it, SDP is also a viable opposition. Some persons are of the opinion that whatever going on within the party right about now as an opposition, the ruling party, the ruling political class, as it were, have a hand in this. What's your take on it?
I don't want to join the issue. Rather, I will put the house together. Every family have their own problem, but it's a fine to Nigerians to see those who want to govern them, that they can't even govern their own party. not talk of coming to govern a complex nation like Nigeria. So I don't see APC as a party having time to go into that. And as a person, if somebody asks you to destroy your house, will you destroy it? So it's just a sign that people are not matured enough to rule the nation. And they came together as a party, trying to deceive Nigerians that they have the capacity to govern Nigeria. So I don't believe APC have a hand in what is happening in other parties. It's just a level of maturity of the leaders in those parties, not being able to manage their own affairs the way we have managed our own in APC.
All right, now the investigation as regards the alleged financial misconduct is ongoing. Of course, there might be possibility that he might return, but do you see any chance of him getting back to the office if after the whole investigations are over?
As I said earlier, it is the party's affair. I'm not a member of SDP, and I don't know what the constitution says. So it all depends on the constitution of the party and depends on how influential he is within his party.
So the issue right now, so the issue right now borders on his influence, if he'll be able to come back to the party or not.
Come again?
Do you say that it's a function of how influential he is so as to be able to guarantee his return? Is that what you're saying?
No, don't get me wrong. If he's investigated and the law does not find him guilty, he's a free man, and he still has the capacity to conduct to share the ship of the party. But if the law finds him guilty of the offense he's been accused of, then he has to answer to the law. And if that is done, probably they went to court and they've been convicted. It can't be the chairman while in prison. So it still depends on the outcome of the investigation and how far the party want to take it.
But of course, that's his perspective, especially looking at it from internal wranglings. Every party has to put their house in order without pointing accusing fingers on any other party. That was his closing remark, if you would recall. But thank you so much, Chief Solomon Chukwu, APC chieftain, for giving us your 2 cents on the matter. And of course, the program continues shortly after now.